Hi, welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Minutia. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and I have a very exciting announcement to make. That's right, it's time for another summer book bingo. I started doing this years ago, my very first summer on my channel, so this is the 5th year in a row that I have done summer book bingo. And I initially started it as a fun challenge to try to diversify my own summer reading. And so many of you at the time were like, really interested in me creating a bingo board to share with you also. So it opened up into this big bingo thing with an associated giveaway, and now I do it every single year, and I change up the prompts and all of that kind of stuff, and it's just super fun. So I'm kind of going to go over the rules of summer book bingo and the associated giveaway, and then I'm just going to go through the bingo board and share the prompts with you. I think that most of them are self-explanatory, but I always like to go over them here in case there might be any clarifications or questions or anything like that. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. So the board of summer book bingo is a 5x5 bingo board, and there are 24 spaces with prompts on them. The middle is a free space. Sometimes people like to put just like a book of their choosing there, but you don't have to put anything there. It literally is a free space. So if you want to put a book there, you can. The rules of summer book bingo is that you cannot double up any books for any of the prompts. So let's say like one of the spaces is a classic, which it is, and another space says like sun or something, and you have like, you read The Sun Also Rises. I think that's a Hemingway book. You can't count that for both spaces. You can only choose one. And the reason for that is every single bingo that you complete on this board counts as an entry into the giveaway. So the giveaway is a $25 gift card to an online book retailer of your choice. That includes Amazon, even though Amazon sells things other than books. So I like to do an online gift card because this opens it up internationally. So as long as I am able to purchase a gift card to a retailer of your choice with an American debit card or credit card, then you can participate in the giveaway. Obviously, with kind of like transferring currency, that might look different. I don't know what the totals would look like in different currencies, but it'll be $25 US. So there you go. There's that component. But there is a potential to get 12 different bingos because I count all horizontal spaces, all vertical spaces, and then the 2 diagonal spaces, and that equals 12 spaces. So each space, each bingo is an entry into the giveaway. So you can get up to 12 entries. I'm not going to be militant about what you put in what space, but I have had some questions in the past, so I want to clarify some things. Picture books do not count. I had someone ask me that last year for the first time, and picture books do not count. And neither do like short series unless there's a short story space. You can't just use short stories for all 24 spaces. But it's okay if you mix up some things in there, if you have a few novellas in there, if you have a few graphic novels or mangas in there that you count, that's totally fine. I'm not going to go in and like police and make sure that everything is just perfect, because the point of summer book bingo is for it to be like a fun challenge, not a stressful one. And so as a result, also, this can be used in conjunction with any other read along that you have going on. So one read along that I'm currently planning that'll be in July is K-Tropathon, but I know that there's lots of other like summer different challenges that you could do. And so if you read a book for one of those challenges and it fits a prompt on this board, you can totally count it. This does not need to be like 24 separate spaces apart from anything else you might be reading. The point of this is that it can fit in with other challenges, and it just has like different spaces that might help you kind of think outside the box with your summer reading and just kind of make it fun. But again, it doesn't matter if you read all 24 books for this, because as long as you read 4, you're going to probably have a bingo, maybe 5, depending on which row. Either 4 to 5 books, you're going to have a bingo, and that's already one entry. So most people do not black out their bingo boards. The years that I have done this, I think I've blacked out my bingo board either once or twice out of the 4 previous years that I've done that. And I'm the one who hosts this. So this isn't like, doesn't have to be this stressful challenge of like, I have to black out the bingo board. That's why each separate bingo counts as an entry, because I want it to be fun for everyone. I want everyone to have an opportunity to enter the giveaway, but it's still a challenge if you want to try to black out your board and get a whole 12 entries. but even just 4 or 5 books will equal 1 entry. These are for books that you have read from June 1st to August 31st. So if you're reading a book on May 31st and you're almost done with it and you read the last like 3 pages on June 1st, like that does not count. They need to be books that you have read from June 1st to August 31st. So that gives you a whole full 3 months to read these books, and I will be accepting submissions of bingo boards through midnight on September 1st. So that way, like if you finish a book like really late at night on August 31st, I want you to still be able to count that. So that's why I have a whole extra day for you to get your bingo board to me. Some people submit to me bingos as they go, and some people just give the bingo board at the very end so I see all the bingos then. But I do keep track throughout the summer, so you can do it whichever way you like. The ways that you can submit bingo boards to me is you can post them on your Instagram story or Instagram post and tag me in that. My Instagram handle is the same as my YouTube handle, so it's Beautiful Minutia with no spaces. And I do always have my social medias linked in the description of my video, so you can find it there. You can also submit them on my Discord, which is also linked in the description of this video, and it will have a whole separate summer book bingo channel that will have a space for us to talk about like what we're reading or have recommendations or whatever. And then it'll have a space for the bingos where you can upload your bingo board. So that's kind of how all of that works. If you need any more information, feel free to comment if any of this wasn't clear. But I'll also have the rules and everything in the description of this video to make it easier for you to look back on, screenshot, whatever. Let's go ahead and get into the actual board. So I went with like a lemon/lemonade theme this year, and I'm really excited about it. I think it turned out really cute. I did ask my patrons for suggestions of prompts. So some of these prompts are mine and some of them are theirs. They came through with like way more prompts than I could possibly ever used. So thank you so much to them, because some of them were so creative and things that I definitely would never have thought of. I did create this on Canva, so I'll have the link for that in the description of this video in case you want to download it. I'll also have it on Instagram, so you can like screenshot it there, and on Discord if you want to download it there. But I do have a link here because I like to print mine out and put it in my reading journal. So I'll have it linked and you can just save it as a PDF. Or, you know, I guess you can do a JPEG or a PNG too, and then just download it, print it off, all that kind of stuff if that's something that you want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the prompts. The first prompt is a place you'd like to visit. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory. It can be literally anywhere. It could be like if you live in the United States, but you want to visit a different state within the United States, it could be that, or it could be a totally different country, or if it is a fantastical world that you would love to visit, that works too. The next prompt is a classic, and different people have different definitions of classics, but I mean, if it's a classic, a modern classic will count as well, is what I'm saying. The next prompt is wilderness or survival. So this could be, you know, just an outdoorsy book, a book about hiking, or it could be like a survival story that has nothing to do with the wilderness at all. So it's a little bit more broad to include both wilderness and survival in the prompt. The next is a book in a series. Pretty self-explanatory. After that is brain candy. So this is a book that is just feel good and fun and makes you happy, doesn't stretch you mentally, and it's pretty open to interpretation. The next prompt is a debut novel. So this doesn't mean it has to be a debut that's come out recently. It just means it needs to be this author's debut novel. So say for example, I don't know, Frederick Bachman is like your favorite author. But you haven't read his debut novel. You can read his debut novel. The author can have had other books out. The author could be a classics author like Charles Dickens, and you've never read his very first book. So it's open to whatever time period or demographic or genre. The next is a one-word title, also pretty self-explanatory. After that, we have a nonfiction. Doesn't need to be any specific genre within nonfiction, just nonfiction. The next prompt is ocean. So that could mean that this book takes place in an ocean setting, like a beachy setting, or like an undersea adventure kind of thing. It could mean that there's a picture of an ocean on the cover, or it could mean that ocean is in the title of the book. The next prompt is a library book, because I feel like we talk all the time about book hauls, and I'm certainly very guilty of that, but yeah, let's support our local libraries this summer too. The next is a book that is over 500 pages. So as long as it's 501 pages, you're good to go. And to balance that out, the next space over, we have a short story or a novella. So this is the one spot that you can put a short story on this board. After that, we have the free space, which, like I said, if you read another book and you want to put it here, I have people that do this every single year. If you read one and put it there, that's totally fine, but you don't have to put anything in this space at all. I never do. Next is a friend recommendation. So any book that a friend has said that they would love to see you read, you can put here. After that, we have reread a favorite. I feel like summer lends itself so well to rereads. After that, we have the shortest book on your TBR. So this could be your physical TBR, like books you actually own at home, and the shortest one of those. Or it could be the shortest book on like your TBR on Goodreads, or like whatever, just a book you've wanted to read, but it's like really, really short. Again, short stories don't count here. So it does need to be at least novella length to fit in this square. After that, we have yellow on the cover, which kind of goes with the lemonade theme. After that, we have vacation or travel. So could be a road trip, could be a hero's journey. There's so many different ways that you could interpret this. After that, we have flowers on the title or on the cover. Pretty self-explanatory. Then we have outside your comfort zone. So this is intentionally very vague. So if you are someone who normally just likes to read kind of fluffy romance books, try reading a work of translated literature or a historical fiction or a classic. If you're somebody who really enjoys classic literature, try reading a new release. There's so many different ways that you could interpret this. After that, we have a sci-fi or fantasy. Then we have a popular book that you haven't read. So this could be something that's a new release that is really buzzy right now, or it could be a book that was really popular years ago or whatever, and you just never got around to reading it. After that, we have refreshing. So this is a book that just makes you happy, makes you feel refreshed, makes you really feel like rejuvenated in your reading. And again, this is going to be very subjective and open to interpretation. Next, we have a new to you author. So branching out and finding an author that you've not read before, maybe one you've wanted to, or maybe you just go to the library or something. I don't know. You just stumble across someone you've never heard of before and you pick up their book. And the last prompt is just that it needs to be set in summer. And I don't know about you, but I have really been enjoying reading seasonally lately. So any books that are set in the season that I am reading them, it's just like a bonus for me. So that is the bingo board. If you have any questions about any of the prompts or you need any clarification on anything, feel free to reach out in the comments. I'd be happy to answer your questions. But I think that that's it for Summer Book Bingo. For the rules, for the board, for all of those kinds of things. I'm super excited to be doing Summer Book Bingo again. And I hope that you will join me. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit like and also subscribe so you can continue to see more bookish content from me. And I will see you again next time.